Just going out wenching. Oh, I mean, to my club, dear.
Have a good time, darling, and don't forget your protection. Oh, one needs a bit more of a special Ribena. Don't be too loud back now.
I say, stop right there. What are you playing at? This is 2016, not 1916. You can't get away with that sort of thing in Europe anymore. Get back in here and show those nice people at home what there was you slipped into your pocket there.
That sort of thing would have been utterly uncontroversial here 100 years ago, but not today. Hello, good evening, and welcome to a very gentlemanly episode of Bloke on the Range. Tonight's piece will proudly have graced the pocket of any continental gentleman out for a night of whoring, general debauchery, trampling the poor, and whatever else a gentleman would have got up to a century ago. This particular revolver is from Belgium, a country famed primarily for the saxophone, mediocre chocolate, and world-class paedophilia. This particular piece was made by Manufacture Liégeoise d'Armes à Feu, a competitor of FN which existed from 1866 until 1929, and made mostly middle-of-the-road rifles, shotguns, revolvers, and single-shot pistols. Now let's bring the camera around and have a closer look. So this is a Belgian Bulldog, a relatively cheap copy of a British Bulldog as popularised by Webley. Now this particular revolver was made for the Swiss market sometime between 1894 and 1914, and we can put the start date on this because of a Belgian standard Liège proof mark, and the top strap, I don't know if you can see this on film, is marked up Casimir Weber Zurich. He was a major gunsmith in the Zurich area and died in 1914, and at which point his firm was wound up. So we can roughly date the piece within this period. Another indication that it's made for the Swiss market is the caliber is marked here as 7.5, which is 7.5mm Swiss ordnance revolver. This revolver is generally of the Royal Irish Constabulary configuration with a safety that only goes on when the hammer is down. As you'd imagine, the revolver is either single action, you can cock the hammer, which means you can't apply the safety only goes on when the hammer's down, and it fires double action and it's quite smooth. One thing that will be surprising to the modern connoisseur of revolvers is that there's no form of drop safety, no form of hammer safety. The hammer does not rebound. However, with the help of some dummy rounds, I shall show you why this is not a problem. When you load it, which you do through a loading gate on the side, you actually cannot finish loading it if the hammer is down on the last round. Now if we deliberately do that, if we see, it doesn't turn any further than that, so to get the last round in, what I have to do is raise the hammer slightly and rotate it past. Now if I deliberately put the hammer on the primer of this dummy round, I can't get the next one in. I can't get the last one in. It's a nice, clever, inherent feature. The only way to load it completely is if the hammer nose sits between two cartridges. Unloading, classic Bulldog style, there's a little piano wire ejector that pushes the rounds out one by one, and when there's cases there, you have to obviously lift the hammer. They tend to just fall out under gravity if they're heavy, if there's a bullet in them, and yeah, there you go, largely. And then once you've finished unloading, you push it back in and check you're clear like that. Now as for the ammunition, here I have a box of original Model 1882 cartridges made in 1954. These were loaded until the late 60s and they were always black powder in Swiss service. Now this will take 32 ACP, it will also take the various 7.5 Nagant, not 7.62 Russian Nagant with the bullet enclosed in the case, and it's quite an interesting cartridge as it is. It is a jacketed bullet, it's a heeled bullet, and it's dip lubed in paraffin. Inside here is 11 grains of extremely fine black powder and a card wad. We've dismantled some in the past, we've shot some, and it's incredibly consistent over the chronograph, far more consistent than any of our hand loads. A load that we've developed that duplicates this is a 100 grain H&N bullet pushed by 2.5 grains of accurate number 2, and that gives you the same velocity. It's not terribly impressive velocity, to be honest. Compared to a British Bulldog Revolver, it's kind of weak, but this was the ammunition that was commonly available in Switzerland, and for seeing off some kind of blackguard late at night, I'm sure it was more than adequate. I also have here a reprint from Cornell Publications of Casimir Weber's 1907 catalogue, which contains a whole raft of various bulldog type revolvers, real Webleys, Belgian ones, all manner of interesting pieces. There's even a Velo dog there. I was hoping to find this exact piece in here, but unfortunately it's not in there. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and hope to see you again on the range sometime. Bye!